basándose en el trabajo del afamado científico Nikola Tesla, cuyo descubrimiento sobre la energía de corriente alterna sigue moviendo el mundo. Los experimentos con ondas de radio y electricidad condujeron a John hasta dar con un efecto que ha intrigado a científicos gubernamentales y militares. Un efecto que produce ebullición, dobla objetos y los envía volando por el aire.
He estado construyendo estas réplicas de las antiguas máquinas de Tesla y he podido observar que tienen capacidad para cosas realmente interesantes. Pero de repente un día ocurrió por casualidad el efecto Hutchison.
Efecto que producía que el aire saliera de las botellas, que los helados se movieran por el espacio y que las brocas de la taladradora levitaran. Algo tan convincente y extraordinario que parecía imposible que fuera un truco.
Yo he visto con mis propios ojos una roca levitando en el laboratorio de John. He visto levitar objetos de acero, soportes de bolas de acero, cristal. Me parecía increíble. He visto cómo la electricidad directamente dirigida a los objetos los hacía volar por todas partes.
De hecho, sirviéndose solo de 75 vatios de electricidad, lo justo para una bombilla pequeña, Hutchison consiguió levantar de la mesa una bola de cañón de 27 kilos, además de fundir materiales de diversa composición, calentar metales sin quemar la madera sobre la que se apoyaban, hacer añicos metales y cambiar su estructura cristalina, efectos que desde luego son dignos de registrarse en un diario.
A principios de 1980, haciendo experimentos con todos los equipos electromagnéticos y electrostáticos que tenía por entonces, empecé a observar efectos muy poco habituales, como que de repente la habitación se iluminaba por completo, con luces de muchos colores, barras de acero incrustándose en la madera sin producir ningún incendio, metal convirtiéndose en gelatina, objetos levitando y saltando hasta el techo, o que simplemente ascendían, se mantenían un rato en el aire y luego caían.
Apodada por algunos como la máquina poltergeist, en realidad no es una sola máquina, sino un montón de antiguos equipos sobrantes del ejército sintonizados por John. Nadie sabe cómo funciona. Parece que John ha dado por casualidad con la combinación justa de ondas de radio y energía eléctrica para crear este efecto. Si pudiera demostrarse científicamente, el impacto sería tremendo. Tendríamos que reescribir la mayoría de los libros de texto, especialmente las partes que tratan, y aquí la historia aún adquiere más misterio, sobre todo lo relacionado con la inteligencia militar estadounidense y canadiense.
Aquí estamos, en mi rinconcito. El gobierno de Canadá confiscó mi laboratorio, que contiene 22 toneladas de equipamiento. Cuando volví de Alemania, me trasladé a este lugar y empecé los experimentos desde cero, con excedentes del ejército y de la armada que conseguí en barcos de guerra, y comprando sobras de almacenes de Estados Unidos y Canadá. Empecé en 1994. Algunas de estas máquinas datan de los años 40, como el equipo de rastreo direccional, todas las formas de onda de configuración precisa, hasta 44 GHz. Eso me proporcionó una gran variedad y un amplio espectro de campos con los que trabajar.
An example of this kind of random event happened in 1989 when a visiting Vancouver news crew was setting up at John's lab to film the Hutchison effect. The target area was that yellow crate with the metal objects. But to everyone's shock, a sponge in the back of the room took off into the air and then fell back down. John didn't actually see it and was genuinely surprised.
Like that, it went up and hit the ceiling 1 second, maybe 2 seconds, and then came down.
You can't be kidding.
No.
Well, some time ago I was doing some testing and got into some big trouble after I levitated a toy UFO and some other objects.
Apparently, John's experiments were lifting objects in nearby homes, and the neighbors called the police.
The police came full bore in here with engineers, inspectors. They photographed all the equipments very carefully. It's almost like if you called in a cleaning crew. They didn't touch anything. It's like they made everything look neater for some strange reason.
It seems like someone in the shadows still cares what our hero is up to. Frustrated by authorities and lack of recognition, John has been spending time developing his new project, batteries that last forever, based on the somewhat bizarre zero-point energy theory. Followers of this theory believe that all physical matter floats in a sea of energy, which if collected and converted into electrical power, could more than meet all the world's demand for energy.
I feel everything has a life force to it, because I tend to visualize that atoms are a whole universe, and when they're combining one atom to make millions, if not trillions of them, you have a piece of metal, perhaps. Every time you run your hand across a piece of metal, you're taking off several million atoms at a time.
To demonstrate how energy is everywhere, John uses rocks from his neighborhood and in 2 hours makes a 0-point battery strong enough to power a pen light.
I make sure it bonds. Almost 1/2 electron volt. This is better than a conventional battery, simply because it never runs down. So with these things, they could last approximately as long as minerals last, up to maybe 1,000 years, unknown.
Realizing his batteries could help solve the world's energy crisis, the Japanese have embraced John and funded him to build his bigger crystal-based models.
I got orders from Japan and sponsorship for me to make more of them. So the money would come through into my bank account, and indeed I made units that are actually in Hiroshima City.
While various zero-point energy devices were funded by the Japanese, so far none have taken off on a mass scale.
John Hutchison is probably the very visual proponent of the whole kind of zero-point energy movement. Zero-point energy devices could revolutionize the planet. If you can build a zero-point energy reactor about the size of your microwave oven, put it in the back of your house somewhere, you run your house. You don't need to, you run all its electricity needs. You don't need to pull anything off the national grid. Well, if you put that into the third world, you're going to revolutionize the third world. That is as much a threat to some people as it is a benefit.
And as far as the Hutchison effect goes, I'm rather disturbed that the U.S. government and aerospace corporations has it. The concerns of it being used for an evil force by the military-industrial complex disturbs me quite a bit. I like to see it used for the helping of nature, because there's so much pollution going on with nature. Mankind tends to want to fight each other all the time with wars, whereas Mother Nature rolls on with great energy and power.
It's absolutely essential for the world and survival of the world that we get off petrochemicals. Failure to do so, it really threatens our national survival.
What I like about John is that he doesn't compromise. He doesn't compromise his appearance. He doesn't compromise his lifestyle. What he does is pretty unconventional. So, you know, good on him. I'm all for that, and I wouldn't want him to change. He's fine just the way he is.
Whether building batteries or levitating objects, John Hutchison is an eccentric enigma. Of course, virtually no mainstream scientists take John or his invention seriously. But then only a little over 100 years ago, people believed it was impossible to send a radio wave across the Atlantic. Now just imagine if this backyard scientist really has discovered a primal force of nature that could transform our world.
I am only taken seriously by the military scientists. The academic scientists really don't know what to make of me. Well, to say a lot of other people too don't know what to make of me. I'm just a different person, and I'm kind of happy with myself. I don't want to try and change myself.